أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. My name is Hamza Agrawal and I am a foundational student at School Islam Campus. Today my topic is Maya. Let's start.
Hey, what's up?
Hello Maya, can you hear me?
You've got me curious now. What's on your mind?
Okay. My first question is what is the meaning of the word please?
At its core, please is like a social lubricant. It's a way of softening a request so it doesn't sound like a command. Basically, it turns a demand into a favor. Does that make sense?
Okay, my next question is why is please considered a polite word?
I'm listening.
Continue.
I'm all ears.
Okay, my next question is how do people use please in daily conversation?
It's usually the go-to for keeping things polite, but the way it's used can vary a lot. For instance, you've got the standard, could you pass the salt, please, where it's just a courtesy. Then there's the oh, please, where it's actually an expression of disbelief or annoyance. And of course, there's the desperate, please just listen to me, where the emotional weight is way heavier. Do you find yourself using it more in formal settings or with friends?
Okay, my next question is what is the history of the word please?
It's actually got a pretty interesting evolution. It comes from the old French word plaisir, which basically meant to give pleasure or to be pleasing. Back in the day, it was more of a full sentence, like, if it please you, which eventually just got shortened down to please, as we wanted to be more efficient. It's essentially a polite way of saying, I'm asking this in a way that makes you happy to do it.
Okay, my next question is why do different culture use the politely word differently?
It's wild how much it varies. In some places, politeness is all about being direct and clear, while in others, it's about the opposite, being indirect to avoid any potential tension. For example, in Japan, the language is built around levels of respect. So the please is often baked into the verb itself rather than being a separate word. In the US, it's more about the individual's comfort, whereas in many collectivist cultures, politeness is more about maintaining the harmony of the group. Does that sound like what you've seen in your own experience?
Okay, how has politeness changed over time?
I assume you mean politeness. It's shifted from being more about strict social hierarchies, where you were polite because the rules demanded it, to being more about genuine empathy and mutual respect. Now it's less about following a manual and more about making the other person feel seen.
Okay, my next question is what role does please play in communication?
It basically acts as a bridge. It signals that you're respecting
Continue,
the other
Maya.
person's autonomy. Sorry about that. I was saying it basically
Hello, Maya.
signals that you're respecting the other person's autonomy, admitting that they have the
My
choice to
network,
say no.
my all
I'm
student
here.
is error again start.
So,
Hello, Maya. Maya.
you're back. I'm still here. What's the next question on your list?
Okay, my first question is what role does please play in communication?
It's essentially the bridge in a conversation. It signals that you're respecting the other person's autonomy, basically admitting they have the choice to say no. It turns a demand into a request, which makes the whole interaction feel more like a partnership than an order. Does that click for you?
Okay, my next question is what role does please play in communication?
I think we just hit on that. It's that social bridge we talked about, turning a command into a request and showing the other person they've got a choice. Want to move on to the next one?
That relationship.
It's a huge part of it. Using please creates a sense of mutual respect. When you acknowledge someone's agency, they're usually more open to helping you, which builds trust over time. Does that feel true in your own relationships?
Okay, my next question
You got me.
is why do parents teach children to say please?
It's usually a mix of imitation and repetition. Kids just watch how their parents say it, and when they see it works to get what they want, it sticks. Then comes the please tax, where parents just won't give them the toy until they say the word. Do you think that's the best way to teach it?
Okay, my next question is can politeness improve security?
That's an interesting angle. In a weird way, yeah. When people feel respected and seen, they're way less likely to get defensive or aggressive. It can de escalate a tense situation before it even starts. Ever seen that happen in real life?
Okay, my next question is how did ancient and ancient people show up politeness?
I'm all ears. Just to make sure I'm following, are you asking how people can show their kindness or goodness to others?
Okay, my next question is please used in every language.
I'm a little lost there. Do you mean how people can be brilliant in their daily lives or something else?
Okay, my next question is what are some alternatives to saying please?
Depends on the vibe you're going for. If you want something more formal, you could go with, I would appreciate it if, or would you be so kind as to, if it's more casual, a simple, do you mind? Or could you usually does the trick. Any of those feel like they fit your style?
Okay, my next question is how does tone of voice change the meaning of please?
It's everything. Tone can take the exact same word and flip the meaning entirely. You've got the warm, genuine please that's a real request. And then you've got the sharp, impatient please that's actually a demand. There's even the sarcastic oh please, which is more of a roll of the eyes than a request. Do you notice a difference in how people sound when they're actually being polite versus when they're just saying the word?
Okay, my next question is how do same people forget to say please?
It usually comes down to a few things. Sometimes it's just a slip of the mind when someone's in a rush. Other times it's because they feel so comfortable with you that they've dropped the formalities. Or maybe they just weren't taught that it's important. Do you think it's a big deal when someone forgets?
Okay, my next question is can technology factor politeness?
Um, I'm not quite catching that. Could you say that one more time?
Okay, my next question is how is politeness shown in text message?
I'm sorry, I'm a bit lost on that one. Are you asking about how to phrase a message or something about how messages are indexed? Let me know.
Okay, my next question is saying please online important.
It's definitely a different beast online since we lose all the tone and body language. A please can act as a signal that you're being friendly and not just barking orders. So it's like a digital safety net for politeness. Do you feel like people are ruder in text than they are in person?
Okay, my next question is why is respect connected with politeness?
That's a deep one. I think it's because forgiveness is essentially an act of respect for someone's humanity, flaws and all. You're acknowledging that they messed up, but you're also deciding that the relationship is more important than the mistake. Does that make sense to you?
Okay, my next question is what happens when people are rude?
I'm listening.
Okay, my next question is what? Sorry, I can't please wait.
No worries at all.
How
What's on your mind?
how how does culture influence manner?
That's a massive topic. It shapes everything from how they're expected to act and communicate to how they handle their emotions. In a lot of places, it's that whole strong and silent expectation, while others are more open. Do you think those expectations are changing?
Okay, my next question is where do some countries value you from minority?
I'm listening. I'm still with you. Um, you were saying some countries value something specific?
Okay, my next question is where do some country value for formality more?
I'm still not quite catching that word. Did you mean meritocracy or maybe something like formality?
Okay, my next question is can body language show politeness?
I'm a little confused. Do you mean if body language can show politeness or something else entirely?
Okay, my next question is what are body gestures around the world?
I'm with you. You're starting with around the world, but what's the actual question?
Okay, why is kindness important in communication?
It's usually most critical when there's a lack of clarity or when the stakes are high, like in a crisis or when you're learning a new skill. You need someone to point the way so things don't spiral. But it's also huge in mentorship, where guidance helps you navigate the unwritten rules of a job or a relationship. Do you feel like you've had a good guide in your own life?
Okay, my next question is how do children learn manners?
I'm sorry, I'm a bit lost again. Did you mean manner as in how someone behaves or something else?
Okay, my next question is what is the difference between politeness and kindness?
Those are two very different worlds. Pregnancy is a biological process, growing a human. Finesse is all about skill and style, like handling a tricky situation with grace or precision. Are you thinking of a different word for one of those?
Okay, my next question is where do business train employees to be polite?
I'm not entirely sure what you're asking. Do you mean how employees are trained to be polite, or maybe something about how they're trained for a specific role?
Okay, my next question can politeness help in job interviews?
Finesse is a total game changer in interviews. It's not just about having the right answers, but how you deliver them, the confidence, the timing, and the way you read the room. It's the difference between just listing your skills and actually selling yourself. Have you ever had a tough interview where you felt like you had to finesse your way through?
Okay, my next question is where do customers practice quality service?
I'm having a little, I'm still struggling to follow you on that one. Are you asking about what customers expect from a server, or maybe something about service quality?
Okay, my next question is how has social media changed communication?
It's completely rewritten the rule book. We've gone from long letters to quick texts and emojis, which makes things way faster, but we lose so much of that human nuance, like tone and body language. It's created this weird paradox where we're more connected than ever, but sometimes we feel more distant. Do you think social media makes people more or less honest in how they communicate?
Okay, my next question is what are example of political expression? Continue, Maya.
I'm on it. Political questions are usually those that focus on how a society should be run or how
My
resources should
question
be
is
distributed. For example,
what are examples of political expression?
asking, could you please help me with this is a classic one. But you can also have things like, I'd really appreciate your help, or even just a thoughtful thank you after someone does something for you. It's all about showing that you value the other person's time. Do you have a favorite way of expressing gratitude?
Okay, my next question is where do people use polite language in public?
Polish is spoken, primarily in Poland, obviously, but you'll also find it in large communities across the US, UK, and Canada. Since it's their native tongue, people use it in homes, specialty shops, or community centers. Are you asking because you're learning the language or just curious about where it pops up?
Okay, my next question is how does politeness build trust?
I'm a bit lost on that one. Are you asking how to express an interest in someone smoothly or maybe how to make a conversation flow better?
Okay, my next question is what is respectful communication?
It's all about the human angle. Respectful communication is basically treating the other person like they actually matter. It means listening more than you speak, acknowledging their perspective, even if you don't agree, and keeping that balance between being honest and being kind. It's what makes a conversation feel safe rather than like a battle. Do you think people have forgotten how to do that?
Okay, my next question is can politeness reduce conflict?
I'm ready. What have you got for me?
Okay, my next question is how does language reflect culture?
Reflects everything. It's like a mirror for a culture's values, their history, and even how they see the world. For example, some languages have dozens of words for a single emotion or color that other languages don't even have a name for. It basically shows what that society considers important enough to describe. Do you think there are things you feel that you just can't find the words for?
Okay, my next question is where do schools teach good manners?
It varies a lot by country. In some places, it's a formal part of the curriculum, like in some private or traditional schools. In others, it's more of an implicit lesson where teachers just expect it and correct you in the moment. Then you've got the hidden curriculum where students just pick up the social cues by watching their peers. Do you think manners should be a taught subject in school, or is that something that should only happen at home?
Okay, my next question is what are common polite word vestige, please?
I'm not 100% sure what you mean by valid vestiges in this context. So are you asking about common ways to say please, or maybe some old fashioned ways people used to say it?
Okay, my next question is how do movies and media influence manners? Continue, Maya.
You've got me curious. What does Junior Maya mean? Am I the apprentice now?
How do movies and media influence manners?
I'm still having a bit of a hard time following that. Are you asking about how movies and media are managed in France or maybe how they're portrayed? Help me out here.
Okay, my next question is where is listening politically important?
It's absolutely vital. Active listening is what transforms a conversation from two people just waiting for their turn to speak into an actual connection. It shows the other person that their words actually land and that you're paying attention to the subtext, not just the sounds. Without it, you're just talking at someone, not with them. Do you feel like people actually listen to you, or do they just wait for their turn to talk?
Okay, my the last advice to my viewers.
And the grand finale. What's the final question for your viewers?
Okay. So viewers, ये थी मेरी आज की मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि पसंद आएगा मिलते हैं अगली के साथ तब तक के लिए अल्लाह हाफिज़ पाकिस्तान टेक केयर
Fair enough. We'll just leave it for now. So